Most of us have tried this. You feel a new pain, you type it into a search box, and suddenly you're reading scary possibilities or perhaps confusing possibilities. AI can be a lot more helpful than that, but only if you use it the right way. Let's use a real example and build safe habits together. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to ask AI for general information, how to keep your questions short, and also ask for the warning signs. As a quick note, I'm not a medical professional. This is more about using AI responsibly. AI can help you understand general information and prepare questions, but it can't diagnose you. That's what your doctor is for. So we're going to assume that one of us on this video has elbow pain. I'm going to go ahead and confess that that's me. And today we're going to use Gemini, a product from Google that works the same way as ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, and others. So the prompt I'm going to use, hey, I want to break in and mention I have a book called How Seniors Learn AI available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and any other place you expect to find books. It contains everything you need to get comfortable doing things like we're doing right now, so you can use AI in your everyday life to get what you need. Go ahead and get a copy. What are the common causes of elbow pain? I've had a sharp pain in my right elbow for 1 month, especially when I grip and squeeze with my right hand. Symptoms have not improved. So I'm going to push the button here. And what we did right was we gave a few helpful details, how long this has been going on, what it feels like, and what makes it worse. That's enough to get the general guidance that we need. Also, we did not include our full name, address, exact date of birth, insurance details, full medical history, mother's maiden name, or anything that either A, is private to us, or B, isn't really that important. Let's see what we got here. AI always seems to give us some affirming statement, and in this case, it does not disappoint. It says, "It sounds incredibly frustrating to deal with sharp pain for an entire month, especially when it interferes with basic tasks like gripping or squeezing. While I'm an AI and can't provide a medical diagnosis, the specific grip and squeeze trigger is a classic clinical sign for a few specific conditions. Given that your symptoms haven't improved with rest over the last 4 weeks, it's likely time to look at the mechanics of your arm." So we like that the AI agrees that it's an AI, and it certainly can't empathize with elbow pain, but it has read lots of content on the internet and in books and videos to help figure out what this issue is. So let's see what it says. The most common causes for pain triggered by gripping include, I'm not going to pronounce this term, but it's tennis elbow. It's the most common cause. Despite the name, you don't have to play tennis to get it. Well, in fact, I was blowing leaves in the yard, I'm sad to admit, but here we are. The cause, overuse of forearm muscles that extend your wrist and fingers. The feeling, a sharp pain on the outside of the elbow that radiates down the forearm when you grip, turn a doorknob, or hold a coffee cup. That's true. It could be golfer's elbow, which is the mirror image of tennis elbow, an inflammation of tendons that attach on the inside of the elbow. That's not really it. It's definitely on the outside. And then it goes so on. So then it gave me a comparison table. Where does it hurt? Pain location, primary trigger, and so on. And then it gives me a when to see a doctor piece. And I think this is great. Early versions of AI didn't always do this. AI cannot substitute your doctor. And the reason why is, number one, your doctor is going to give better advice because it's based on you specifically. AI is going to give you advice based on what is commonly accepted wisdom, but it can't know things about you that a doctor would ask to help give a much better diagnosis. So treat this like you would information on the internet. If it's useful and low risk, trust it accordingly. If it's maybe not so useful or there's a risk involved, get a medical professional involved. So what we can do here is we could ask it to trim this down. We could ask for stretches, possibly. It's offering that here, or strengthening exercises. We all know no one does their PT anyway, so I'm not going to do that. So let's imagine that it's been a month and I want to go talk to my doctor. I'm going to say, What question should I ask my clinician? Keep it short and clear. So now you see that I have prepared myself for a visit with my clinician. I know some basic ideas of what this is. I can help him isolate that it is on the outside of the elbow. And, I obviously can use whichever ones of these that I like. Another thing you can do is you can say, what over-the-counter treatments are there? Maybe we don't need to see a clinician. It has been a month, hasn't it? So we have some topicals, we have some orals, there's bracing. This is interesting. It even talks about why the bracing works. I've always wondered this. Let's see. It compresses the forearm muscle to prevent the force of your grip from pulling directly on the painful tendon anchor. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because it does hurt right at the attachment point at the elbow. There's some physical things like ice therapy or this flex bar. I don't know. It sounds like I need to go ahead and see a doctor because it's been a month and I know enough about this to know it's not fatal, but it is annoying and probably isn't going to get better on its own. So off to the doctor I go. So what do we learn here? Firstly, if something seems high stakes, verify it. You could even ask the AI, is this risky? Let's go ahead and do it. Is this risky to treat by myself? No idea what's going to happen, but that's the fun of these videos, is we all learn something. So it says it carries a moderate risk. It could be tennis elbow when it's actually radial tunnel syndrome, which is a nerve. And here's some red flags. Night pain, don't have that. Physical deformity, I don't think so. Heat and fever, not really. Drop weakness, not really. So I think I'm safe in imagining this is tennis elbow enough for me to schedule a visit with my clinician. So I hope you've learned something today about when you can use AI and what the types of things that you can ask it and where the sort of boundaries are where you should consult a medical professional.